Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. As always, live, woodwardsports.com. Adham, Beydoun, Jeff, Iafrate, Fish, as always. Good morning, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. A little out of it, man, after last night. It was just hard. You know, the Pistons were playing. I just couldn't even watch after Monday Night Football.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the Damar Hamlin.
So it was a rough night. Stayed up late, just checking his condition throughout the night. But yeah, I'm excited to be here.
The Bills made an official statement. He suffered a cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
All right, he's in critical condition, and I think the only thing, honestly, anybody can say this morning is that you're praying for him and his family. That's about it. Yeah. I'm not a doctor. I don't know whether it was induced because the hit he took or the way he landed on T. Higgins' helmet. I don't know any of that. All I know is, roughly 22 players on the field at the time, and then about 50, 60 of them after, were all completely devastated with what they were seeing. 8 minutes of CPR. I mean, that I've never seen that ever. In a football game, in a soccer game, in a hockey, never. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
And by the way, I want to say, well, first, my thoughts and prayers are with Damar Hamlin and his family, the Buffalo Bills, all of his teammates, and just everybody in that arena, because that was definitely a terrifying thing to see live. But more than that, I got to give a specific shout-out, both head coaches, Sean McDermott, Zach Taylor, for taking action so quickly. I know the NFL went through the process, communicating with the NFLPA, but the fact that both those coaches, even after they have the 5-minute period where they're just kind of figuring out what to do, both those coaches, you saw them the entire time in lockstep, talking to referees, talking to officials, trying to get this game wrapped up. Because, I mean, there's no way these teams could continue playing after that. Like, to go back on the field, even if he was in a better condition than he is now, I just there's no way that game was going to be played. So just wanted to say to those two coaches, good on them for just taking action so quickly, and along with the NFL and NFLPA. But yeah, even the importance of that game, Adam, like you look at what was on the line for both teams. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals trying to win their division, all of that goes out the window.
Yeah, I mean, number one seeding is on the line. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that game.
Way bigger than a football game.
Well, we'll see what the NFL does. That is complicated. Sunday's the last game of the year, right?
Yeah.
Sunday is the last game. So to have these teams play again midweek and then have them turn it around on Sunday or Monday, I don't know what the NFL is going to do. I don't know how you play this game. I don't. If you're a player right now, you're completely traumatized from what you just saw.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, we can speculate on what caused it. Likely, again, just from watching, likely the way he fell on T. Higgins' helmet on the tackle caused what happened. Again, that was the worst thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever witnessed anything like that. That sucked. That was so bad.
And you know what the most scary thing was too is when he first collapsed, all the medical personnel coming to him. The fact that they were so urgent and they were calling over. They were panicking, which made me panic even more. I mean, usually
I thought the referees handled it so well, because when he collapsed, to me that was a concussion. First thought, right? He got up, he's concussed. There's no way you fall like that unless it's a head injury.
Right.
Oh wait, it's not. Because then you realize not only he got up, I mean that kind of eliminates the brain part of it, but how serious it got. And then everybody's on the field, and then the medical come out, and the ambulance. That was the worst. That was the worst thing I've ever seen watching a football game or any professional sport outing ever.
Yeah.
I really got nothing to say, to be honest with all of you. There's nothing to say.
By the way, big shout out. I know a lot of people are probably watching this too. SVP and Ryan Clark last night on ESPN. Yeah. They did a fantastic job, because there's no manual for how to handle this that type of situation for people on TV. I mean, for Joe Buck, the guys commentating, it was just they were kind of just sitting there hanging out to dry, and I think they did a good job just talking through it because there wasn't really much to discuss. There was no updates on Damar Hamlin at that time. But just Ryan Clark, I mean, he made a ton of great points. And I think the big thing to take away from all this is, much as we love sports and we love discussing sports, at the end of the day, it's a game. And these guys are human beings. So regardless of what was on the line or the game they had to play, I know some tweets came out last night, and if you know if you know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
that can be misconstrued. But
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. We're not going to talk about that one.
But regardless, we don't have to. But regardless, at the end of the day, these guys are human beings, man, and their health is what matters. That's the forefront. I mean, these guys have families. I mean, his mother was there at the game. I mean,
was she?
She was, yeah.
Man.
Was there before the game. So thoughts and prayers with Damar Hamlin, man. Hope he has a
well, look, I mean, out of the
speedy recovery.
Few good things that will come out of this, his charity, his foundation for a toy drive, has now reached over $3 million.
He had a
The goal was
$2,500.
$2,500.
That's insane.
So you know what? That's a friendly reminder, people, of when we as a country or just people in general find a common goal and we agree on it, like that, it gets done. And it really gets you thinking, like, how do certain things continue on for as long as they do in this country?
Right.
All you need is everybody to agree on something, and within a snap of a finger, it's done. I find that amazing. I really do. Having said that,
you know what was so depressing too is, like, when you see something like that, I mean, especially I saw it live. I mean, I recorded from half court, and then I tuned into the game. And seeing that live, like, everything else becomes just irrelevant. Like, Donovan Mitchell had 71 and 10 last night. Like, I did not care. Like, at that moment, nothing fazed me. I mean, Jeremy Grant dropped 36 on the Pistons last night, and they lost to the Trailblazers. I did not tune into that game either. So, it's crazy, man. I mean, as much as we love sports, when something like that happens, everything else goes out the window. I mean, I had no interest. The only thing I wanted to know was how Damar Hamlin was doing. That was on the front of my mind. So hopefully we get some good news.
All right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to move on, talk some Pistons for a little bit, and then we're going to get to the lines, and we're going to get to all of you. Mm-hmm. Today is about you guys. So 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock, we will be taking callers all day on Michigan, on the Detroit Lions. We'll have different segments for all of you to call in and share your thoughts and opinions on it. We'll start with the Lions at 8 and 8, their future. We'll get ready for you guys at 8:30. So the phone lines are open. Alex, go ahead and pin it in the chat. 313-552-6322. That's 313-552-6322. Having said that, Donovan Mitchell last night, my goodness, 71 points. The most scored ever in a game since Kobe Bryant.
And Devin Booker, because he got 70 with the Suns.
Well, yeah, I meant most.
Fun fact, by the way, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Kobe Bryant, all two guards that scored 70 plus. They were all taken 13th overall. So it's just
are you serious?
It's a weird, yeah.
Is that
it's a weird relation for all those guys. Two guards that were taken 13th overall.
Have we drafted anybody 13th overall?
If it's 13,
recently?
you better take a damn shooting guard because it's trending that way. But
that's funny.
Yeah, he's incredible. Donovan Mitchell, man. Could have had him, but Luke Kennard was the pick. I don't want to talk about it. It's not the day. It's not the day. Stan Van Gundy.
We're past that. I think Troy Weaver is.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Jalen Duren last night?
Oh, he was a beast.
Talk to me.
Yeah, the entire game last night, I went back. I watched the ending of it, but again, didn't watch the game. I was watching the news. But Jeremy Grant, I mean, now mind you, the decision to trade him was the right decision. All of that. I'm not saying bring Jeremy back, but you see how much Jeremy at least did defensively. I mean, they gave up 130. I mean, what they gave up 135. I mean, it's this team can't defend. I mean, this
team can't defend.
And you didn't
I don't
have
want to hear
one of your best.
I don't want to hear about not Jaden. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear about Jeremy Grant. I'll tell you why. This is the exact reason. Okay, I'm going to walk you through this, Jeff. This is the exact reason Dwayne Casey should not be the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, okay? I don't care that you're down 20 points. I don't care that you're down 23-24. When you have players like Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Duren, They shouldn't be getting as many or fewer minutes than Hamidou Diallo, Corey Joseph, and Rodney McGruder. Unacceptable. It's unacceptable. This whole 10-man rotation, at times 11-man rotation, is really starting to gear me up. And I don't care about the record. I don't care about tanking for Victor Wembanyama. Cade Cunningham is out for the season. That's a whole different problem. Like, I want to see Jaden Ivey develop. I want to see Jalen Duren develop. And the way you see that is them on the fucking court. Yeah. Not Jaden Ivey getting as many minutes as Alec Burks, and then Hamidou Diallo and Corey Joseph getting more minutes, excuse me, not more, but as many minutes as Jalen Duren, alongside only 6 fewer minutes than Jaden Ivey. It makes no sense to me.
And that's the problem. The Duren one,
how are you pouring cement?
I'm willing to have that conversation with the Duren, but if we're talking about Jaden Ivey, I mean, he's been in foul trouble. I mean, he really has. That's been the problem with Jaden Ivey. And I'm gonna, for a second, I do want to talk about him because as much as Jaden Ivey has shown some great things, there is a lot of that inconsistency. Like one night you get 20 points out of Jaden Ivey, super efficient, and then the following night he gets 10 points, bad efficiency, and he's turning the ball over, and he's in foul trouble. Like it seems like with Jaden Ivey, and this is a rookie thing, so I'm not going to overreact, but when things are going bad for Ivey, they go really bad. It's like a snowball effect for him. So, hey, you want to play? Play better. I don't know what to tell you. Stay out of foul trouble.
Again,
that's just kind of how that works.
We can point to foul trouble, but at the end of the day, he can get 3-4 fouls a game. That's not concerning. Last night, sure, he got 5 fouls. It was bad, a lot of turnovers, okay. But the night before, against Minnesota, only played 20 minutes, only took 3 shots, scored 1 point. Again, this is what I mean. I'm not asking for him to be a superstar year one. I'm not asking for him to take 15, 16 shots a game. I'm asking for consistency from the coach, from his rotations, and the player. And the players can't give you consistency when the rotations aren't consistent.
Right.
When there's no offensive identity. And that's what drives me nuts. If you're going to play shitty defense, at least have an offense that's fun watching. It's really bad. And, again, I don't hear anybody talking about it. I don't see anybody getting upset. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the one just getting upset for no reason. Who knows? But to me, I'm watching a team that can't even play defense. So for God's sake, if you're not going to play defense, how about you run the who is it?
Mark Jackson.
Not Mark Jackson.
Mark D'Antonio?
Mark D'Antonio offense. Yeah. At least do something fun where everybody's involved. Have some identity. There's no identity with this team.
Yeah.
If we're in a close game, Jaden Ivey, you go sit your ass on the bench, kid, because I'm trying to win this game. And if we're getting blown out, Jaden Ivey, sit your ass on the bench. I'm trying to get everybody involved.
Well, yeah.
That's Dwayne Casey. It makes no sense to me. Ivey will walk into games scoring 19 points through 3 quarters, and in the 4th quarter get benched. Why? For Alec Burks? Really? Really?
Hey,
the team is poorly constructed at the moment. It's too young. There is no balance. But more than not having a balance, there is no offensive identity. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Dwayne Casey is pouring cement. He's not. He's not doing anything. This team's going to suck. Maybe they get the top pick. Who knows? Depending on the lottery.
Right.
But I'm not watching basketball. I'm watching a bunch of dudes go out there and say, all right, who's running with the ball now? Oh, Corey Joseph, let me stand here in the corner. Oh, my turn. I got to dribble the ball now. There's nothing. Frustrates the living hell out of me. You can look at box scores. You can watch the game. I don't care what you do. There's nothing consistent about this team and this coach. Having said that, let's take a break. I don't want to talk about this fucking shitty team. We'll talk about the Detroit Lions being 8-8, how they got there, and we'll take your calls coming up in just a bit. But before we go, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10-8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. Their awesome stylists will take care of you like they take care of me, as always. So what are you waiting for? Walk into a local Lady Jane's near you. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization, we serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Let me tell you about our new and awesome friends over at Matrix Homes Solution. We're actually doing a broadcast towards the end of the month, and I can't wait. It's going to be an awesome time. Whether you're looking to reinstall, maybe I wouldn't say reinstall, you're looking to redesign your whole home interior, or you're looking to build a man cave. They're the go-to solution. Give them a call, 888-594-8844. That's 888-594-8844, or go to matrixhomesolutions.com. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com as always. Here's what we're going to do. Detroit Lions are 8-8, and to be honest with you, that's still kind of sinking in for me. Jared Goff, since they traded T.J. Hawkinson, if you think about it, hasn't thrown an interception.
Yeah, and he has the most, I believe it's the most touchdowns to his tight end, besides Travis Kelce.
So
obviously, because he's a different animal. But.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a whole different...
But they're using their tight ends. It's almost like their offensive coordinator is a tight ends coach, or used to be.
It's not even that. To me, what I see is there's less pressure to get the tight ends involved.
Right.
And that's opening up the offense.
Those guys are leaking out.
So now you have these guys who are going unaccounted for because, well, there's Jamal Williams in the backfield and there's DeAndre Swift in the backfield. And when the Lions come out with a wide receiver or two wide receiver set and they've got tight ends at the line of scrimmage, you're looking in the backfield and saying they're running the ball here. Right? There's no way they're not going to run it. They have DJ Chark, sure, on the sideline, and then they have Josh Reynolds over there. There's no way. Watch. Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra. Doesn't matter who. They're taking advantage of not having the guy at tight end. And that doesn't mean that these guys are better than T.J. Hawkinson. But the offense is better without T.J. Hawkinson. That's just a fact. So the fact that they've had this turnaround, to me, is nothing short of impressive. It's a huge win, not only for the Lions, but you want to talk about this regime? You want to talk about building something? Troy Weaver, let me ask you this. He puts out a 20-win team again next year. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I'm joking. God, why'd you look at me like that?
I wanted to kill you. God.
I'm joking.
You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Year one, understandable. Year two, got to see progress.
Yeah.
Right? Right now, you're not seeing progress with the Pistons, but they have a wild card. Cade Cunningham's out for the year, right?
Right.
So you can understand it.
Just young talent.
But my goodness, with the Lions to start the season 1-6, and to have a guaranteed finish of 7-3 at worst, possibly 8-2.
Yeah, it's huge.
And maybe make the playoffs is unbelievable. The fact that they've turned it around, to me, is the story of the year. I would say with Philly falling off, Dan sneaks into the playoff with the Lions. You're looking at possibly the coach of the year. Gonna need a lot of help.
Right. Philly
needed a lot of help, but as much as we want to give Dan credit, Mike Tomlin,
that's another one. I mean,
Brian Dable, Pete Carroll, all with very similar records, working with as much talent as the Lions have, maybe even less. You know what I mean? Again, I understand it because I'm in Detroit. I see it. But if we're honest a little bit, boy, the Steelers recover too. They're 8-8. They win, and the Buffalo Bills win their final game of the year. They're in.
Yeah, Packers. I mean, look at them now.
Yeah, but they had expectations going into the year. You thought they would be a playoff team. They probably wouldn't win the division. But
remember that there was talks of should you give Jordan Love a look now that
Yep.
the season's kind of treading this way. Nope, now Aaron Rodgers is here with a chance to make the postseason.
100%. So that to me is the story of the season. And what I'm going to ask all of you to do is call in and give us your thoughts on the Bears' performance, of course, where you dominated for 4 quarters. And I want to know where you were at 1-6. I want to know, really more so than where you were at 1-6, what you've thought of this 7, 8, 9, 10 game run. I want to know. Because to me, that's the story. You're going to finish out in Lambeau Field. Win, lose, I still think it was a good season.
Absolutely.
Now, was it successful in terms of accolades or getting to the playoffs or regardless? No. But was that the expectation? No. That's the expectation you set for year 3. Now, do you want me to get a bit annoying? Do you want me to be an antagonist and say other teams do it in year 1, other teams do it in year 2? That's a fact. But it's not the reality for this team, and I think what they've shown you in this 9-week stretch is, hey, we'll get out of our own way, which they have gotten. Mm-hmm. We've traded our tight end. The offense is better. Jared Goff is playing at probably the best level he's played at easily since 2018. We might have something here. So you look at that, and I think it's hard to not look back at 1-6 and say, boy, if you just had a semblance of a defense and a coach that could just get out of his own way, you're probably 3-4 at worst. Probably 4-3.
Yeah.
And then you make this run, we're talking about a division winner maybe.
Yeah, we're talking about you locking up a seed, a playoff seed.
So that's where I'm at this morning. I'm very happy with the last 9 weeks. Excellent football. The defense has been excellent at times. The offense has been excellent consistently throughout the whole stretch outside of Green Bay, but they made the plays when they had to. Mm-hmm. So again, we can nitpick. We can be frustrated at 1-6, but I think they've earned the right to have a good conversation about this team going into next year. I think they've earned that.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that Dan's already mentioned their expectations for next year kind of tells you where their head's at. And the entire time, their expectation was year 3, we want to contend for the division, and they're right on par with that. This team's going to be contending next year. I do believe that.
I'll tell you what. Phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. We'll start taking your calls in just a little bit. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And then there's Fish over there. If you want to put the camera on Fish for a little bit. He's working right now, answering all your guys' phone calls. Oh, God. God. You know, I'm still waiting for any updates on this Damar Hamlin situation. I'm, staring at this TV in the corner of my eye every, minute.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Last thing we got is he's still in critical condition.
Yeah, who knows? You don't know. You don't know how much oxygen he had going to his brain or not. It's scary, man. It's scary. It's scary. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll go to the people. We'll take all of your calls. Fish is queuing all of you up. We'll be right back. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Well, guys, let me tell you about Cintron because it's the official energy drink of the Red Wings. Cintron has combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. You can pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Let me tell you about our friends at Alta, because uptime matters, and Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. As always, we'll go to the people. We'll start with Rasul. Rasul, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, how y'all doing this morning? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, buddy. Always good.
Honestly, my concern is that 1-6 and whatever we are, whatever it was, what 6-2 now, it's the same one. I'm still wondering who's going to step up when we need it. I'm not. You guys are sold on Goff. I'm sold on the offensive line. I'm not sure what our running game is doing. You know, like in our linebackers are still kind of iffy. So. Yes, we're playing really well, and I'm really enjoying it. But I still, you know, kind of like when we said about Hard Knocks, who are our superstars? I still kind of feel that same way. Like when we really need it, who's going to step up and make a play, offensively and defensively. And like Goff is doing it for me, but I'm still kind of nervous about him in a big game, and we really need to go down there and start scoring points. Like, can he win because of Goff, or will there always be a scenario where everybody else kind of has to shine in order for that to be a thing? And if we don't take a QB this year early, like what is that? Are we going to be stuck in like the no QB land for 4 or 5 years?
That's a great question, to be honest with you. I don't think you have a Kirk Cousins situation. I don't think you have a Ryan Tannehill situation. I do think Goff, at home at least, has been excellent. On the road, that's a whole different problem. Now, the performance in Carolina was nice, but the game was already over by the time he started getting it going. But to be honest with you, Rasul, I think when it comes to Goff, if you're going to take a quarterback, regardless if it's this year or the year after, you're going to have to spend a first-round pick on it. It's not somebody likely that you're going to draft in the second or third round and they're suddenly going to be this anomaly. It just doesn't happen. You typically get your quarterback in the first round. So we'll see. I don't know. What I do know is right now the focus should be winning your division, getting to the playoffs, winning playoff games, and I think you can do that with Goff. Now, like you said, can you win because of him? Not on most Sundays. And there are going to be Sundays where he plays lights out, and you know what? Cool. But in the big spot, in a divisional round on the road, at home, in the NFC Championship game, can you win because of him? No, there's maybe a handful of guys that you can win because of in the NFL, and you know that's hard to find. So it's really a tricky situation with Jared Goff.
Right, and that's my thing. So it's like, is it because the Goff is doing well, is it because the receivers? Like, we have so many questions. And I'm really afraid that we're going to find out too late as far as which one is being the reason for getting us moving.
Well,
defense, like, I feel like a lot of our problems will be solved if we ever get, like, some real good linebackers. Like, I really want us to go balls out and get some linebackers that's all, be able to fix people just running over it when, you know what I'm saying? Like, That Carolina game, I almost broke my TV when I saw the Carolina game.
We all did.
I agree with you, though, man. I think people undervalue how nice it is to have an elite linebacker. I mean, you just go watch. Even the Colts, when they sucked before Shaq Leonard was out for the year, just having that guy, Fred Warner, whoever it may be, Levante David, whoever it is. I mean, these guys are playmakers. They help stuff the run. They drop back into coverage. They do so many things well. It is so important to have a linebacker. I'm with you. I think you're going to have to spend some picks on it. I think you're going to pursue some guys in free agency. Who knows? But the defense needs to be better. I think if you have a top 20 defense this year, you're probably 10-6 right now, maybe 11-5. That's how bad the defense has been. I think we can't forget that. And you also need secondary players, because with Jeff Okudah getting benched for, 2 consecutive weeks now, or 2 out of the last 3 weeks, whatever it is, that is concerning.
Right, and that's my thing. It's like, so when we win the division next year, then we're still going to be in the same limbo if we haven't done anything with our offense. Like, I don't know. I really feel like there's something missing, like something that I don't know how big or how small it is on offense for us to really be clicking like we need to. For us to, I want to win 2 games in the playoffs. I want people to really be afraid of us. And I think there's something missing. I'm not quite sure what it is yet.
No, I think you're on it, Rasul. Thank you for the call, buddy. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day, man. Happy New Year. To his point, it's simple. You don't know what you're missing, Rasul. I think you're spot on. You're missing a defense. Are the Lions good enough to make the playoffs in the NFC right now? Yes, because of their offense. Mm-hmm. Are the Lions good enough to win a playoff game? Yes. Are they Super Bowl contenders? Absolutely not. Why? They're not a complete football team. They really need to address the defense, Jeff. They need corners. They need linebackers.
Oh, bad. Yeah. Bad. Corner is the clear position of need for this team. I mean, if you watch the entire season, one thing the defensive line has done is gotten better. The secondary is just as bad as it was. So, I mean, you're probably good at safety. If Tracy Walker, Kirby Joseph, Deshaun Elliott, hopefully he returns. But, yeah, corner. The fact that Jeff Okudah got benched for Mike Hughes, and Mike Hughes is probably your best corner, that's alarming. I mean, to say the least.
Fair enough. Well, let's continue the calls. Steve, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Is that me? Can you hear me all right?
Yep. Hear
yes,
you,
sir.
Buddy.
Awesome. This is Steve Stemberger from Indianapolis. I former viewer and down there about 21 years. And as for the 1-6 start for the Lions, I was really frustrated because 50 years of being a fan of Detroit, I went through the ups and downs and all that, and I was seeing the same scenarios happen. And I basically said that I would not buy another uniform jersey or anything. I actually said that I wouldn't even buy a crying towel for Dan Campbell. That's how upset I was at it. I said I wouldn't even purchase a crying towel for him.
Oh, God.
And to see it turn around like that is awesome. It's a detriment of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. It's amazing how they turned the ship around. And right off the bat, in the beginning, I had high expectations, but I did lose it, and that's my apology to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. I knew Brad Holmes was doing well, but I didn't know about Dan. I didn't have that full faith in there. And it was like, man, to see them turn it around like that, I'm just very impressed with it, and I believe the brand new Lions are something to be reckoned with for years to come.
Steve,
the culture that they built in just 2 years, man.
Absolutely. Steve, I'll tell you what. I think you, along with everybody else, are almost identical on the same page. When he was at 1-6, you were feeling good about the draft picks. You were feeling good about, the direction the team was going in. But Dan Campbell needed to prove something on the field. I think people forget, because of how great this run has been, that 7, 8, 9 weeks ago, this was a 4-19-1 head coach.
Mm-hmm. No road wins.
0-11-1 on the road. Mm-hmm. 0-10-1 in one-possession games. Like, this was This was really bad. This wasn't, oh, give him time, Adham, you're being a bitch. Adham, you're being impatient. None of that. This was, oh my God, this is really bad. But as much as he gave really bad, just like Steve said, he's also giving you really good. So now you just got to figure out which one is it. And you hope it's the latter, and you hope going into next year, that's the team you see consistently for the whole season. Steve, appreciate the call, buddy. Thank you so much.
Adam, great talking to you guys. Could I interject one more thing about the thing that happened on Monday Night Football?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Okay, prayers and that out to Damar, sparing me and that. I seen the same scenario happen in a playoff game with the Detroit Red Wings when the guy, Detroit was on the power play, and the defenseman drilled Chris Pronger. You'll see 6'5", 6'7", right in the chest. And what Chris Pronger said that he lost oxygen. He missed a beat in his heart, and then no oxygen, right? And he was talking about it. He said that I knew I was in Detroit and I was only 30 feet from the bench, and I'm going to get up because they're not going to see me laying on the ice. You know, hockey players.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so he said, as he was getting up, he said, no problem. And all of a sudden he just flat fell down because there was no oxygen. So he went down like a ton of bricks. And thank God that he's all right and he can live to talk about it to this day. But just a little tidbit for you.
Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate it. And you know what? I hope Damar Hamlin has the same outcome as
I do too.
Chris Pronger, man. We're polling for him. So that's brutal, man. I still can't believe we watched that last night. My phone was erupting. And I had the social media team like Booner texting me, calling me all night like,
it was,
what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? It was a whole thing, man.
Because there's, like I said earlier, there's no
good way to handle it.
Yeah, there's no manual on how to handle these things.
And, you know, the same for the NFL. I hope they learn from it. You know, but they have some rules in place, but watching a player lose oxygen, lose his pulse,
right.
You don't prepare for that. You just don't. So, as much as we want to get on the NFL last night, it took too long to cancel the game. This is about the player. Yeah, you know, honestly, I think a lot of you just like to be upset and outraged. That's a hard decision to make. You're calling the NFLPA. You're calling family members. You're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You're trying to get updates in the ambulance of, hey, how's he doing? And then you're getting feedback from the coaches on the field, the players in the locker room, and then you're going down and talking to everybody like, hey, what do we do here? So no, they didn't have the right solution. You can be upset about that. But you don't go into a football game expecting that to happen. You just don't plan for it. Now you do. Hopefully now you have better procedures in place that will hopefully prevent this from ever happening again, 1, and 2. Not only prevent it from happening, but you have a correct response, or at least a quicker response to it. I thought the medical team did a hell of a job on the field. Nobody talks about that. So, you know, again, we live in an age where everyone wants to be so quick to say everything.
Right.
Just relax. Relax a little bit. It's all good. Right now it's about him. That's it. I don't care about the NFL. I don't care about the NFLPA. Right now it's about him. I don't care how long it took for them to call off a stupid fucking game, to be honest with you. If you're upset about that, go fuck yourself. Cool? Great. Moving on. Let's go to...
I echo those statements.
My God, man. Some people. We got to go... Actually, no, we don't. We got a few minutes. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Bart. Bart, you're in Sterling Heights. You're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, couple observations. I know a lot of people's been, talking about a running back in the future picks, in rounds of the Lions. But if you notice, the LA Rams took a 10th pick overall, and they took this running back called Todd Gurley. And what he did for the Rams while he was healthy is something that definitely could improve our team. The other thing is, there's always been talk about a quarterback and that. Well, one of the best quarterbacks in the league sat 3 years behind Brett Favre in Green Bay. So it's something that it all depends on who's available. Trusting Brad Holmes is definitely one of those things that I'm a firm believer in because he's definitely he's the proof's in the pudding. I mean, you look at what he's done. I think having free agency is where you fill that linebacker need, because it's just. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
It's something that I wouldn't be surprised if he drafts 2 corners this year, in the late first round and second round picks, along with a safety. Skinner from Boise State is just a thumper.
Yep.
A late round pick would be Brendan Cox from Florida Gators, who got let go. He reminds me of this one character that got the Patriots took in free agency. Lamont Blunt, I think, threw a punch at another opposing player. So it's something that.
I'll ask you this.
If you watch, sure.
I'll ask you this. So the running back at 7, I find that interesting. Right now, I want to say running back at 10 for the Rams. I want to say the Lions' current pick is at 6. It could go as high as 5, depending on the results of the final week of the season. So we'll have to wait and see for that. But to me, I think in today's NFL, I don't think a running back is worth a first-round pick. Now you have a Bijan Robinson. You have some of these guys coming out who are pretty excellent. And maybe in the later round, maybe you go for them. But I think you nailed it already, if I'm honest with you, Bart. I think it's corners. I think it's linebackers. And it's heavy defense this year. Now, you want to take a running back in the second, third round, I'm okay with that. I don't mind that at all. But then again, I pose the same problem every week. What the hell do I do with Swift? Because he was a menace against Chicago. But I get that, 2-3 times a year? I need consistency. And I think that's, to your point about Todd Gurley, what he gave the Rams was consistency. You're going to want a back there that can give you 16, 17 games for the 3, 4, 5-year window. Swift has not done that, so interesting draft. I would avoid him in the first round, Bart. What do you think?
Watching the game film, he's got that, in my opinion, probably the best back in the last, since Barkley, coming out. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He I think leads the league for the NCAA in contact, yards after contact. He's got power. He's got breakaway speed like Swift. Don't get me wrong, I love Swift, but he's not on the field all the time. And his track record proves it. I would have no problem keeping Swift. BJ coming on. Williams, we might lose Williams in free agency. Because he's been a bell cow around the goal line.
Yep.
Except for the one time he fumbled against Dallas, which was definitely costly in that game. But it's something that, I don't mind having a stable of 3 running backs, definitely that can play. We got 2. But when Swift went down, and, unfortunately it also happened when Brown went down, Brown, we lost those games.
Yep.
And if we would have had Swift, we would never have been talking about Campbell in that 1-6 run, because I think 4 of those losses, if I'm not mistaken, Swift was either on restriction, for like under 5 series
or
a
he
game,
was out. Yep, you're right.
Or he was out, and that's a quarter of the season that you're losing a running back. I trust Brad. There's some running backs. I think is it Brown out of Illinois?
Yes, sir.
You got Britt. Granted, he's got a knee injury. But it's something that there are running backs in this class. Personally, I like the quarterbacks out of the next year better than this year. Williams.
Yep.
You got McCarthy. You got the kid from Texas. Has shown, when he came in as a true freshman against
Quinn Ewers,
Alabama.
Yep.
He was lighting it up until he got injured. So I would have no problem. Like if Stroud's there, grant you, he might have given Holmes more draft capital for next year, personally.
Yeah, you never know. You never know the Lions, if they're sitting there at 5, if they're sitting there at 4, maybe, who knows? And somebody wants C.J. Stroud or Will Levis. It wouldn't shock me if the Lions traded back. Bart, I can't thank you enough for calling in. Appreciate you, buddy. Happy New Year.
Hey, don't forget, put the keys on hold until we win that game on Saturday night.
We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll know the fate of the team before then. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, we will.
Yep,
but
yep.
Either way, it's going to be a great game. I
yeah,
hope we
they'll
beat
play spoilers.
Green Bay and knock them out.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Playing spoilers just as
can't blame.
satisfying.
Yeah, exactly. So, you have a blessed day, guys. Happy New Year.
You
and
too,
go
buddy.
Lions.
Go Lions. And to Bart's point, before we go to break, him just talking about the running back in the first round, that's going to be a tricky one because you'd have to really convince, or Brett Holmes would have to, decide if any defensive player available is Beydoun the best player by far?
I don't see it.
Yeah, I would say no.
Well, you know what? The draft talk is interesting, but I think we need to have a different conversation coming up next, and that is about Jared Goff. We did this yesterday, and I want to know what you guys think. So the phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. Jared Goff has played at a top 10 level this year. That's a fact. Jared Goff has been one of the 3-4 best quarterbacks in the NFC this season. That's a fact. Where are you with Jared Goff? Do you believe the Lions should still draft a quarterback? Stroud, Levis, whoever you think it is, I don't care really.
Mm-hmm.
Or do they wait? And do they wait to take one in 23? Or excuse me, in 24 when the draft is in Detroit? I want to know from you what your thoughts are on Jared Goff. What you think his future holds here in Detroit. Is he part of it? Is he the guy that's going to be your Alex Smith? Or are you giving him the keys to your franchise and extending him? I don't know where all of you are. So you tell me. That's the conversation we'll have, Jeff, coming up in a bit. But before we go, you got to tell us about our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Well, let me tell you about a defense that always shows up to play, and that's Guardian Alarm. Because with winter here, you're spending time inside. You want your home protected. So call 1-800-STAY-OUT, and you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Let them know your friends at Woodward Sports Central.
Go watch darts finally. How do you not?
We here at Woodward Sports would like to thank everybody who helped us stuff our studio. The third annual Stuff a Studio was a major success, thanks in part to our partners at Guardian Alarm and Meyer Stores for making it all possible. And of course, we couldn't do it without our community leaders and viewers like you. Thank you for dropping off toys to our studio that were taken to the Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor so every sick child could have a happy holiday.
We are incredibly grateful for Woodward Sports, Guardian Alarm, and Meyer for making the holidays so special for our patients and families.
So what we do is try to bring some normalcy to their lives at this time. This is a labor of love. It brings so much joy, and not just for the families and for the children, but for our staff.
Thank you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, let me tell you about my no longer fat, friend, Ryan Ermanni. Down over 20 pounds since he started the Custom Health Centers program, and I'm very happy for Ryan. He's off all week. And he deserves it. He deserves a vacation out with the family. Happy New Year to Ryan and his family. And thank you to Dr. Jason for making that big thing over there look a lot better. It's easier to work with him. Having said that, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live. I want to start with all of you. We'll start with Rufus. It's a hell of a name. Honest to God. It's one of the best names I've ever seen in Q.
It's a great name.
Rufus, your thoughts on Jared Goff? Is he the guy for the future? What do you think the Lions should do with him, buddy?
All right. First, I'm going to admit, I thought he could play. I thought Goff could play, but I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is now, and I absolutely think we should keep him. He has a good grasp on the offense, which makes up for the athleticism part. I know we all would like that running quarterback, yada, yada, but I think right now him and Ben Johnson, they pretty much, I think, you can need to see it. Jared Goff knows where to go with the ball. He gets his reads fast, and he knows where to go. And I don't think we should mess with that chemistry. I think it's spot on. We go defense.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I'm in lockstep with you. I think he's been even better than anybody could have ever imagined this season in Detroit. Having said that, is it you're going to let his contract run out over the next 2 seasons after this year, or are you looking to extend him before the next start of the next season or at the end of next season? What is your plan for Jared Goff?
That's a good question. So, depending on what he does this upcoming year, I would absolutely sign him. If he has another
so you're going to make him play out.
Year,
you're going to make him play out next year before you even consider it, correct?
Yes.
You and I are on the same page, my friend.
Yeah, we have 2 years, and he's like what, 28 or something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I love it, man. Thank you for calling in, Rufus. Appreciate you, man. Well done.
Appreciate having me.
Well done.
Hey,
all right, let's.
Rufus has a good head on his shoulders.
That was really good, actually. To be honest with you,
that was very fair.
He came out guns blazing.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Got right to
Backed
it.
it up. Well
got
done,
right to
man.
it.
Well done. Let's go to Brian. Brian, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got for us this morning, Brian?
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. Hey, man, it's going to be hard to follow up a phone call from a guy named Rufus, but
good luck.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, regards to the Lions and Jared Goff, I would definitely, I think I would extend the guy personally. You know, the thing is, if you really think about it, isn't it just shocking, you know, how well the guy has played when you put a competent running game and a good supporting staff around the guy? I think when he was with the Rams, honestly, I don't really think, you know, he had some good wide receivers around him, but he just really never had a running game. And to be honest with you, Sean McVay just really doesn't have, his offense has never really been predicated around having a strong, solid running game. And it just amazes me how people were just willing to kind of discard Jared Goff. But, you know, with the Lions, he's kind of come back to life because he's had such a strong running game. And I just think that that's something you should think about with a lot of quarterbacks. I would personally extend the guy, go in the draft, get some solid defensive players, and then go from there because I think he's just proven to you that, you know, he's when he has a great offensive line, he has a competent running game and a good offensive coordinator. Look at what he's done.
Brian, I'll say this. 2018 Goff with the Rams was slinging the ball everywhere. I think that was probably the best the Rams were ever with Goff. They had Todd Gurley. The offensive line was one of the better ones in the league. You had Brandon Cooks. You had a Cooper Kupp. You had some good tight ends. It was a balanced offense. But what you've seen this year has been nothing short of exceptional. Very reminiscent of the Rams back in 2018. An unknown, undersized wide receiver, Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have a running game that's a two-headed backfield with Swift and Jamal Williams, but that doesn't make your point any less true. Whether you extend him or not, I'm not sure yet, to be honest with you, but the idea of taking a quarterback and sitting him, I don't mind that. Is it this year? Is it next year? To be honest with you, I haven't really made that decision yet, but Goff, to me, has earned the right to be the starting quarterback next year, and I think the draft strategy should be all in on defense. Get this to be a top 18, top 17 defense by next year. And if you're able to do that with this top 5, top 7 offense, I mean, you're looking at a division title next year, no?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I definitely agree. I think that they should be contending for the NFC North next year. You have no idea what's going to, with regards to other teams, you have no idea what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. You know, the Bears are way, way behind. The Vikings, you know, they still look pretty solid, but who knows for how much longer Kirk Cousins is going to be good. I would focus on defense. I would maybe, as far as offensive pieces, maybe try to get Jared Goff a solid tight end. See if you can get one, you know, towards maybe the second or middle of the third round. Good tight ends are hard to come by. And again, focus on defense, and they should be solid. Keep the pieces, keep the culture. You know, Dan Ecaps Campbell got to keep that culture going and in the right direction. And I think that they'll be going in the right direction, and the hopes will be high for the Lions.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate you, Brian. Well done, man. Anytime. You're welcome back anytime. Thank you.
All right, great. Have a good day, guys.
Yep. You too.
You too.
Kind of what I'm expecting for the most part with people. I think everybody sees, hey, he's not the problem. Why are we talking about him?
Right.
Go defense. Let's complete the team. Get linebackers. Get secondary players. Surround him more. And yes, if Ben Johnson leaves, you're going to ask questions, of course. I don't think it's this year, so why am I concerned? All in on defense, Jeff, and try to have a good team next year.
And the only thing I would, go back with is extending him right now. But again, you can make the same argument at the same time of tomorrow's price may not be yesterday's price. So if he keeps playing well and you wait to extend him, you might have to pay the price for it.
That is fair. Let's go to Abe. Abe, you're on the morning show. Your Jets absolutely suck for not beating the Seahawks. Shame on you. Shame on your franchise. Shame on Zach Wilson banging other dudes' moms. Shame on you.
My team is the worst in football. They suck. They're not watchable. They're not even watchable. And I've been saying this all week to my Jets buddies. If Zach Wilson starts that game, all of us are sitting around saying, if Mike White starts, we would have won that. Maybe Mike White's not the guy. But someone that might be the guy is your own Jared Goff. Now, Adam, you keep bringing up Alex Smith. And the reason Alex Smith is who Alex Smith is and known by is because they took that shot at Patrick Mahomes. They saw the guy that they thought could be the future. So what it comes down to is, do you take the quarterback this year? Do you take it next year? Do you extend all this and that? What it comes down to is, do you see the guy? And if that guy is there, you take him. It doesn't matter how much time is left on Goff's contract. It doesn't matter any of that. If you see him there this year, you take him. If you got to move up to take him, you do it. If you don't see him this year, you wait. And there's nothing wrong with waiting. Don't just trust me, I know from experience, and you as Lions fans do as well, don't just take a quarterback for the sake of taking a quarterback.
I agree 100%, Abe. I agree 100%. There's nothing more important than, again, what does Jared Goff allow you to do? If he's playing at this level, what does he allow you to do?
Continue to build your roster.
And you can make the decision when you're all in on the quarterback. Let's say I'm Brad Holmes right now.
He's not a $45 million a year guy. He's not demanding Lamar money.
Nope.
So in the time of the quarterback, paying him $30 million a year isn't extraordinary. It's really how much are you paying the quarterback room, not the starting quarterback. How much are you paying the entire room? How much of that is taking up your cap space? If you're paying Jared Goff $30 million and then a backup another $11, now you cannot go get a first-round quarterback because the cap space is going to be too much for not Patrick Mahomes type of level of play. But if you have Jared Goff and a Tim Boyle type of nobody and a first-round quarterback, now you're into something.
Yeah, look, Abe, I appreciate the call, buddy. Thank you so much. I'll say this. Jared Goff affords you the time to make that decision. And if I'm Brad Holmes and it's Will Levis, I'm pulling the trigger tomorrow. And if I'm Brad Holmes and it's somebody in the 25 class, well, I got Jared Goff under contract.
Right.
Why do I have to worry?
Right.
Why do I have to force myself to do something maybe I'm not ready to do or I don't want to do? And that's the luxury. You look at the Jets. Abe, this is a perfect example. You guys forced yourselves to take Zach Wilson. And I think Robert Saleh would much rather have a Penei Sewell, a Jamar Chase. He would much rather have a lot of those guys than Zach Wilson sitting there on the bench right now. So let's take a break. When we get back, I want to continue the calls. We'll go to Mike, Steve, and DJ on the lines at the moment. We'll wait. We just need a quick second. Jeff, before we go, our good friends over at Big Boy.
Let me tell you about them, because wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You can try the classic meatloaf or Cajun chicken Alfredo. But how about breakfast as well? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The Lumberjack, Santa Fe Garden, or Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
All right, guys, let me tell you what you should be doing this weekend. You should be taking your kids, your family members down to the Monroe Street Midway. You can hang out at the Midway Arcade. You can do putt-putt. You can have all of the favorite foods, food trucks galore down there. You can have good drinks before and after you play. You name it, they've got it. So make sure you check them out. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com. Whew. 9:02. Let's continue the callers on Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been the center of attention, Jeff. Jared Goff has been playing excellent. And if you're Brad Holmes right now, I'm putting you on the spot. Pick 5, let's say. Let's go with what it is. Pick 6 and your mid-round pick. Your first 2 draft picks are?
A position?
Yeah.
The first pick, if you're picking top 6, it's probably going to be an edge rusher or a defensive tackle.
Really?
For me, it's BPA, best player available. So if Miles Murphy's there, I'm taking Miles Murphy.
All right.
But at the same time, if the Rams win and that pick slides a little bit, you get to 8, 9, 10, maybe you look at a corner.
Kelly Ringo.
Right. And then that second first-round pick, it just depends on who's there. It could be a linebacker. It could be you could take a corner if you pick at 10, but then take a defensive lineman at 20. I mean, there's a lot of options. But regardless, both of those picks are going to be defensive players. That's my point. And you're really just picking your poison.
And I think a lot of us are going to agree on this today, honestly. And I'm actually looking forward to these calls. We'll start with Mike. Mike, you're on the morning show. Good morning. Happy New Year, buddy. Your thoughts on Jared Goff and his future here in Detroit?
Well, guys, I must admit I have to eat crow because I really thought Jared Goff was going to be our bridge quarterback. I did not expect him to play the way he's been playing. My only concern is last time he played this well in 2018, he got that big contract, and then he fell back. With that being said, there's no guarantee it's going to happen this time. I don't necessarily mind extending him, provided we're still keeping our eye on the future and looking for that young quarterback. With that being said, I think he's just become a longer bridge for us. Instead of hopping over that little creek, now he's going over the Mac. He's turning into the Mighty Mac, and we're looking at it long term as a bridge rather than short term. And I don't have a problem with that because that allows us to do exactly what you just said there and go after another edge rusher. I would do that. I'd build up that defensive line. What was it, Rob Marinelli or whatever the heck his name was that was so horrible. He's a great defensive line coach, and he was right. The more of those guys you can have to move in and out, the better, because all you do is tire out their offensive line of your opponent. So I don't have a problem with doing that. Yeah, we need a linebacker. That's fine. We've got free agency. Same thing goes for cornerback, and I do think we need to invest in another cornerback, but it's been proven.
Mike, I'll say
this.
First-round
cornerbacks don't work out.
I don't think you need to eat crow, number one. I'll tell you why. Jared Goff, currently, I think is a great solution. I do. I think is a great solution for the team you're trying to build. Now, I always use Alex Smith as the example because to me it makes the most sense. Alex Smith started 4 full seasons and won 2 division titles before they ever drafted Patrick Mahomes. And then they came off a 12-4 season, traded up to 10, drafted their guy, and the rest is history. Now, is it easy to draft your Patrick Mahomes? No, the hell it isn't.
No.
Now,
no.
There is one caveat here, as Darren McCarty likes to say, and that's when my GM falls in love with the quarterback, that is when everything stops. I don't care if I had just extended Goff. I don't care if he's coming off a Pro Bowl season. The moment my GM, who I very much believe in, says, hey, this is my guy. All right, here we go. Sit him for a year. Jared Goff, continue. Go win some divisions. Go win a playoff game or two. Who knows? I think it's a great situation, Mike. I really do. I think he's playing at a very good level right now. He's good enough to win you games. Go ahead.
And beyond that, he's not only good enough to win you games, but so you draft that young quarterback, you have him sit for a year, he comes in. Now you also have trade bait.
Absolutely.
Trade Jared Goff to another team. You know, and I didn't think that's the part I have to eat crow on. I didn't think he was worth trading because I didn't think he was going to work out that well. I was dead wrong. I'm so glad I was wrong, and I don't mind admitting that I was wrong, but I was, and that's fantastic. I'd much rather it work out in our favor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, and then and I talked to you a couple of weeks ago before they lost to Carolina, and I don't know if you remember, but I said this was Dan's test, Dan Campbell's. If he was going to turn into a Caldwell, who you end up losing out through the end of the season, or if he was going to turn in and learn from those mistakes of those other coaches. So far he's learning, and it's looking really good. So I'm very pleased so far with what I see. I just hope it continues from our coaching staff. And by the way, if you ever get up here to West Branch, we're about 2 hours south of the Mackinac Bridge. I'd love to buy you, Jeff, Fish. No, Fish doesn't drink. A beer.
We'll make him
Feel
drink.
free to stop in. We're right off the highway.
Let's go, Mike. You're the
Mike,
man.
I will do my best. I promise you that. We'll get Fish to drink. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get him a beer.
You always say you never know where we're at. Here you go. I'm going to confuse the hell out of you. We're north of North Branch, and we're west of South Branch. Tell me how that makes any sense.
I have no idea, man.
So,
I didn't even know West Branch existed before you started calling in. So.
Yeah, we're right off the highway. Come on up. We're about an hour north of Saginaw. If that helps you.
Man, appreciate you, Mike. You're the man.
Have a great day.
Yeah,
Happy holidays.
Have a blessed year, okay?
Yep, you too, buddy.
Let's go.
That was awesome.
Yep, bye-bye.
That was awesome.
Mike's the MVP there.
What do you think? I don't blame these people.
No, I
at all.
don't. I don't.
I think they're spot on every single one of them so far.
I don't. And again, we talk about this. I mean, Jared Goff, talk about what he's making. I mean, with this roster, so many guys on rookie deals. As of right now, I don't really have a problem with his contract. I mean, he's playing at a top 5 level this year, making top 10 quarterback money. We'll see how next year, what his level of play looks like. But I love the flexibility Goff gives this franchise with how he's playing. I mean, you can continue to build this defense and see what happens. I mean, Goff has all the experience. He's played in big games. We'll test that out. The Lions haven't been to those big games. We just got to get to the playoffs, and Goff can do that. And I do believe Goff can win a playoff game. And that's what the city needs right now. So Goff gets you that flexibility.
All right, I love it. Let's go to Jim. Jim, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
So, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I froze my ass off at that game. It was actually I grew up in Michigan. I've seen the Wings, I've seen the Tigers, but it was my first Lions game ever, and what a shit show.
Wow, what a game to go to.
I know, right? So my question here is, do you think there's some mad scientist genius stuff going on with Brad Holmes that he knew he could build up Goff, and now there are teams calling for him to get picks, or in exchange for picks, to build the franchise even more? Or do you think that he really wants just to keep Goff and believes in him? And then a kind of a second hypothetical question, how do you think Stafford feels right now? Do you think he would wish he would have stayed and building like a dynasty like we're building in Detroit? Or would you rather have that Super Bowl win and then stay on, like,
I think
possibly
Stafford's living his best life right now.
You know that answer, Jim.
I think, he got the Super Bowl. Had he not gotten the Super Bowl, I would agree with you. I'd actually play along with this. But they won the Super Bowl. I think it's one of the best trades ever made for both sides. You saw the Lions get a good quarterback, 2 first-round picks, and you saw the Rams get the quarterback that they felt they needed to get over the hump. They did, so everybody's happy. I think it's a great route. But to go back to your original point, Brad Holmes, I don't think they ever trade Jared Goff. I don't see that playing out. What I see is he is likely the quarterback for the next 2 seasons. But until they draft a quarterback, that's where things get interesting because you're going to have to extend him sooner or later. He is going to come to the table and say, hey, I'm playing well enough. I'd like to be extended. I don't want to go into my final year under contract. Right? So that is going to happen. We can have that talk when it comes, but I don't see Brad Holmes trading or moving off of Jared Goff until he's drafted his quarterback. I don't think it's this year. Maybe they draft a quarterback in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round just as a backup. Who knows? But to me, if you want to draft your quarterback, you go get them in the 1st round. You don't waste any time.
Yeah.
Do you think he's getting calls right now?
I don't know. If I were to bet my money on it, I would say no. Because Goff is a player that has 2 years left on his contract after this season. And if I'm the Jets, if I'm the Niners, if I'm a lot of these teams and I'm looking for a quarterback, if I'm the Colts, do I want to spend more picks on a quarterback who is limited, who needs everything around him to be really good? Or do I just go out in free agency and go get a Jimmy Garoppolo or go get a Derek Carr?
I was going to say.
Or why don't I just draft my guy, right? So I don't think he's fielding calls. I don't even think he would answer them at the moment. But if I'm an NFL GM, I don't think I'm going to have much luck calling Brad Holmes and saying, hey, is your quarterback available? I just don't think it's realistic, Jim. But I appreciate the call, man.
Hey, guys, thanks a lot. I listen to you guys every morning.
Appreciate you. Anytime, buddy. You're welcome back anytime.
Thanks, Jim.
Yep, bye-bye.
Hey.
I'm just saying, honest to God, this is one of the few segments we've done where I knew everything that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
This was the exact reaction I really thought would happen. Because, we did our Jared Goff's, almost a half hour on him yesterday.
Yeah.
Had our conversations, went through beginning to end, how it's shaped out to be, what you can do with him for next year, building the defense. We went through all this, right? I swear to you, when we put this down on the sheet and we prep for it, I was like, everybody's going to call in and they're going to say, build the defense. He's not the problem right now. We can get the quarterback later. And whenever Brad Holmes says, hey, it's time to get the quarterback, that's when it's time. Because you trust the GM. I have never been so happy.
Yeah, it's like the listeners they're smart. I mean, everyone's in lockstep.
They've been sold something you can actually buy into.
Everybody's in lockstep. I love to see it.
You can't buy in when it's 1-6.
No.
And nobody sees any progress. But you can buy in. Even if they lose to Green Bay, you're going to buy in. Why? Because you saw a moment in time where they were 7-3 at worst.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, all right, well, how'd they do that? Quarterback was playing well. Traded away their tight end. They suddenly got better on offense. Offensive line was healthy. Run game was pretty good. Jared Goff was excellent. Defense actually was one of the better defenses in terms of pressures. Stopping the run for a 7, 8, 9 week stretch. Okay? We have the formula here. So how do we double down on that? And what did we do bad during the 1-6 stretch? Coaching decisions and defense. It's those two. And simple, I would say it's probably 60-40. 60, 65% maybe on the defense, 35, 40% on the coaching.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay. Well, if we know that in this 10-week stretch, our defense was really good and we were winning games, I got 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, defense. Let's bring in as much talent as we can. Now, is he going to go out in free agency? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what it's going to cost for some of these players.
Especially when you
have
all those
rookies.
rookies.
Know is defense is going to be a key, and I'm glad everybody's agreeing on this. I can't wait. I can't wait for the offseason, if I'm honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Another year of us covering the draft.
Not only that, I mean, we're going to have a lot of this fan base really in lockstep. Last year, honestly, it was like talking to a bunch of fucking idiots, if I'm honest with you. All of you who wanted Malik Willis and Kyle Hamilton at number 2. I didn't forget you motherfuckers. Having said that, this year I think it's going to be a lot better. I think everybody's going to be in lockstep. Now, we're going to disagree on the player, maybe, but we're not going to disagree on, it should be defense. This year, we need linebackers. We need corners. Now, I don't think anybody's going to disagree there. So we'll take a pause. When we get back, I wanted to talk about Jim Harbaugh, but you guys have flooded the phone lines. So I'm not going to let you down. We're going to continue the Goff situation and conversation. We're going to go Goff from 9:15 to 9:30, and then we're going to pivot to Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. Is he going to accept an NFL job? I'm going to tell you why these reports are such bullshit, but I can't tell you until we take a break. So, Jeff, our good friends over at Swiss Insurance.
With the holiday season finally over and the new year here, Swiss Insurance can help you save money because it has previously. I mean, it's saved its clients on an average of 26% on their insurance premiums while still increasing coverage. It's a ton of money to free up for the new year. Happy New Year from Swiss Insurance. And don't forget, go Lions.
We here at Woodward Sports would like to thank everybody who helped us stuff our studio. The third annual Stuff a Studio was a major success, thanks in part to our partners at Guardian Alarm and Myers Stores for making it all possible. And of course, we couldn't do it without our community leaders and viewers like you. Thank you for dropping off toys to our studio that were taken to the Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor so every sick child could have a happy holiday.
We are incredibly grateful for Woodward Sports, Guardian Alarm, and Meyer for making the holidays so special for our patients and families.
So what we do is try to bring some normalcy to their lives at this time. This is a labor of love. It brings so much joy, and not just for the families and for the children, but for our staff.
Thank you.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Let me tell you about it. Chili Pepper Standing is where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. You can join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPepperStanding.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your Vitamin D headquarters. 27 locations and more on the way.
Chili Pepper is tan.
All right, we are back. 2023, the second show of the new year. WoodwardSports.com. Let's go to Doughboy Steve. Doughboy Steve, you're on the morning show. Jared Goff, excellent quarterback play all year. He's been a Pro Bowl quarterback technically, or at least his stats would indicate that in the NFL. He's been a top 10 quarterback all season long. Your thoughts on his play and what his future looks like in Detroit?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, I want to bring up something that doesn't get brought up very often. This man's been here for 2 years.
Steve?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
He's been here 2 years, and he's only missed 3 games. He hasn't missed any games this year at all.
I think we lost Steve.
I think we got a little free trial of what he was. I think he was onto something.
Fish, are you messing with the phone lines? What are you doing in there, you jackass?
I'm holding a mic.
Well, put the mic down and do your job.
Talking about what am I supposed to do?
Go put the mic over there.
He was going to go off.
Go put the mic over there.
Doughboy,
go set the mic down.
Well, it was.
Shut the hell up.
Doughboy was about to snap. I could feel it.
Shut the hell up.
Okay.
Go put the mic away. You need 2 hands to do your job.
Walk
away and put it down. Walk away and put it down.
What did I do?
Walk away from the booth and put it down.
Okay.
We're not getting 23 started off like this. Put it down. All right? You're not talking into the mic. Put it down. Good job. Walk back in the booth. Put on your headset.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Jesus Christ.
I think he was.
Put the balloon down.
Why is there a balloon in there? Fish, how did.
It was in the opposite booth.
All right, Fish.
Yes,
answer
sir.
the damn phones.
I am.
Let's go to Terrell. Terrell, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Terrell!
Yo, look, I wasn't even going to call in this morning. I just wanted to listen to what the peeps had to say. You know what I mean? And then I heard the first phone call come through with the dude that was all hand-wringing about Jared Goff and all this shit. Like, and I'm not trying to personally attack the dude in any way because he sounded like a nice guy, but I am so sick of hearing this shit, y'all. So sick of it. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys a story. Now, Jeff and Adam, I know you guys are not old enough to remember Joe Montana playing, okay? I know that you know that he's a top 5 quarterback of all time, so we all agree on that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Joe Montana never carried the 49ers, okay? He always had a top 10 defense. He had Rice, he had Jonathan Taylor, he had Roger Craig that was a 1,000 running back, and he had 2 good tight ends the whole time he was there. He was a facilitator of the offense. He got his teammates the ball. You don't want your quarterback to have to carry your team, because if that's the situation you're in, your team is not that good in the first fucking place, and we just watched that shit for 12 years with Stafford. Why do you want that? I don't understand for the life of me why people still think like this. It blows me away.
You know, I'm going to agree with you to an extent on that, because I think we undervalue just the idea of building a football team. Like, whatever happened, how about we build a good football team first? And then you address what's going on, right?
I don't want the quarterback to have to carry the team. If that's what's going on, your team is not that good.
Josh Allen.
I'm sorry.
Josh Allen is a perfect example to this. Why is Josh Allen
and Josh
the leading
Allen's
rusher?
career is going to be short.
Yep. Why is Josh Allen the leading rusher of the Buffalo Bills? Figure it out.
Exactly.
He's been there for 4 or 5 years now. Figure out how to establish the run without him putting his body on the line, because he's your franchise quarterback, right? It's the same thing. I mean, this to me is...
Yes.
I think you made a great point, to be honest with you.
And this is the other thing about Jared Goff, too, and I don't understand how this, missed a lot of people. Jared, everybody says, oh, Jared couldn't get it done. That's why the Rams got rid of it. No, they got rid of him because him and McVay had a personal beef. Something happened between those two. They don't like each other. That's why McVay got rid of him. And then you see Jared Goff, Jared is a nice guy, in general, but if you can't tell that dude has a massive chip on his shoulder right now, I don't know what to tell you, because I can clearly see it. He's mad. And for him to come up with the Rams and then watch Stafford go and win a Super Bowl with the team that he was supposed to go and win it with, you can tell that bothers him. So everybody that's like, oh, he's going to come back and ask for $40 million and blah, 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 I honestly don't think so, because I think that he wants to win and show the world that he is a championship caliber quarterback. I can feel that energy coming off of him, so I really don't think that he's going to come and ask Brad for a $40 million a year extension, because he wants to win.
That's what I was just going to ask you, Terrell, is you talk about surrounding him with talent. And now, a lot of the marquee players are on rookie deals. When those guys when you have to negotiate with a Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, so on and so forth, you expect Goff to, I'm assuming you already made the point, but to take a significant discount.
I would think that he will. I get the feeling from him and his energy that winning is more important to him than anything else. The dude's already made a couple $100 million. It's not like he's poor. And I understand that most people are going to ask for the money. I get it, Adam. I know everybody wants their money, but I'm telling you, I think that he's got such a chip on his shoulder that he's not going to come and ask Brad for a contract that he knows that Brad's not going to give him. That's the thing. Everybody's worried about that, and I don't think Holmes would ever give him that much money.
If Goff plays next year, puts up 4,400 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions, he's going to ask likely for $35 million a year. More than what he's making
I'm good with
now,
30 or 35.
but not 40 or 45 like the market would indicate. That to me would be a good number. Having said that, I wouldn't extend it. I wouldn't extend it for 3, 4, 5 years. It all varies. Again, I need a GM who's going to understand I can build a team around this guy for the foreseeable future, and I think I do have him right now in Brad Holmes. And if I build this defense and I give him the surrounding support he needs, and my coach is doing his job, well, not only can I deliver divisional success, playoff success, I can buy myself time to identify who I think is the next franchise quarterback of this team and take him whenever I see his
We got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. Stop worrying about it, fellas. Brad's got this. If you don't have faith in this man by now, after watching him turn around one of the biggest dumpster fires in NFL history to what we are today, which is like a year and a half later, then I don't know what to tell you. There's no magic wand. It's coming. Just relax. Right? I got to go to work. Y'all have a good fucking day.
Man. You're good. Appreciate you, Terrell.
Terrell, you're a legend, man. Appreciate you.
I love when he calls in. He always does well. I'll tell you what. We got to stop with this. If you want to win Super Bowls, like with an S, bitches. You haven't won a division since 90-fucking-3.
Let's just get there.
You haven't won a playoff game since 91. You shut the fuck up. Every single one of you. You don't get to talk to me about Super Bowls. Especially with an S. Patrick Mahomes has 1 Super Bowl ring. Is he bad? Is he a waste of talent? Oh, they paid him. He's done. Like, stop with the money stuff. You are able to pivot the salary cap and manipulate it however way you want with whoever the hell is your quarterback. Jared Goff isn't going to cost you an arm and a leg. He's also not the guy that you want to shell out $50 million a year for. I think we all agree on this.
Right.
So stop. Just stop. Build a damn good football team. Build the defense. And then talk to me about, is the quarterback holding them back? Is the coach holding them back? None of you know that. Why? Because you don't have a complete football team yet. So how about you get there before we have the conversation, huh?
Yeah.
How about you build your defense?
Yep.
You go out and compete and maybe win your division. You go out and compete and win a playoff game or two. How about you do all that first? And then you say, okay, going into the following year, now that we've had all this success, how do we become a contender?
Right.
How do we become a Super Bowl team? Well, who's holding us back? Secondary play? Is it the coach? Is it the DC? Is it the special teams coordinator like Green Bay a few years ago? Is it the quarterback? Then you can start identifying that stuff. Till then, you don't get to say anything. That's just the truth. Having said, we'll take a break. Done talking about Jared Goff. Got to talk about Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. Phone lines are still open if you want to talk about Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. 313-552-6322. The latest news report, rumor circulating is that if offered an NFL job that he likes, Jim Harbaugh will leave, and it's not because of the money, it's because it's the NFL and he wants to leave and da-da-da-da-da, whatever. We'll get to all that in a minute. I call bullshit. Not on the idea that he wouldn't leave for the NFL, but how we're going about this and making it seem like he's hungry and he's going out of his way to pursue NFL jobs behind their backs. I think it's all a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second.
Every single season.
It's the nature of the game, and to be honest with you, every single one of you, before we go to break, if your head coach of your program or your team or whatever it may be is getting pursued year in and year out, he's probably winning a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
And last I checked, back-to-back Big Ten champions, back-to-back college football playoff appearances. Yeah, I would look at Jim Harbaugh too if I was an NFL GM.
One in the NFL as well.
3 straight NFC title games, 1 Super Bowl appearance. What do you know?
It's pretty impressive.
Let's take a break. When we get back, we'll talk some Jim Harbaugh, Michigan football. But before we go, I got to tell you about where we will be broadcasting live January 6th. And that's at Planet Fitness. I can't wait. I look forward to these broadcasts every single time. And what do you know? We're going to be giving away a bunch of tickets. We're going to be giving away a bunch of cool prizes. And Fish, I want you to know from now, you're fired. Because this is old. Okay. You're fired. We will be broadcasting live from Planet Fitness, all of our shows. I can't wait. Sign up today, $10 a month. Your fitness is essential. We'll be right back in just a minute.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Downtown Detroit is all decked out for this holiday season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge in the Monroe Street Midway. What are you waiting for? Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long. The Midway has a giant slide, winter bumper cars, and an indoor arcade. Plus, you can grab drinks at the lodge before and after the games. Again, what are you waiting for? Check out the Monroe Street Midway, brought to you by our good friends over at Bedrock Detroit. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. And here's what we're going to do. So, Jim Harbaugh leads Michigan to back-to-back Big Ten titles. Jim Harbaugh gets to back-to-back college football playoff semifinals, and everything's going very well. And they're expected to beat TCU, and they don't. Okay? Disappointing. But the idea, to me, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm going to leave a program with J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Edwards coming back next year, a young staff, a young team that I think should compete for the Big Ten next year. I'm going to leave that for Carolina with no quarterback, no offense. I'm going to leave my situation for Denver with an old, regressing Russell Wilson and a salary cap that is fucked and a team with no draft capital. I'm going to leave my situation for what? So where is he going? Of course Jim Harbaugh is going to leave if he gets an NFL job that he likes. But this idea that if Carolina offered him the job or Denver offered him the job, he would be out the door tomorrow is bullshit. Complete bullshit. You're underestimating, one, Jim Harbaugh's time at Michigan and what it means to him, and two, you're really underestimating how smart of a guy he is.
Right.
You think he's going to walk away from Michigan, which is a secure job, easy money every year, alma mater, back-to-back Big Ten titles.
He doesn't have to deal.
He now has a leg up on the Big Ten.
He doesn't have to deal with impulsive owners that are going to fire you.
Thank you.
I mean, he's in complete control with Michigan.
He's in complete control of the operation.
Absolutely.
And you want him to go to Carolina? You want him to go to Denver? Those are the two circling, right? The rumors that are circling around. Get out of here. Kick rocks. Kick rocks.
Yeah.
Why would he leave? Now, if you want to tell me a job opens up, let's say, like a Jacksonville, which it won't. Let's say like a Chargers, which it won't. Okay, now we're talking like, oh man, that's a job, man. If they offer Jim, he's probably gone. But you guys, Indianapolis? What, because he played there?
He's in the ring of honor.
Well, okay. And what? With what quarterback?
I know.
With a Jonathan Taylor who's injured already.
Right.
And an offensive line that is regressing. And with one good wide receiver. And with the defense, Shaq Leonard comes back next year, sure, but...
in an AFC?
Maybe the Colts you can sell me on. But you're going to have to do a lot of selling. And who knows? Maybe Jim Irsay opens up the bag and says, hey, 5 years, $70 million. Come be the coach of our franchise. And come be a co-GM. I don't know, Jim. Whatever you want. All the power in the world, I'll give it to you. Maybe then you can convince me Jim walks away.
But do you think for, let's say, what is he making now? $9 million annually? Somewhere around there?
I think 6.9.
So if you're...
last I checked, it was 6.9.
Whatever
I could be wrong.
The amount is. You leave the NFL... let's say you go to the Colts, you'd make probably $3-4 more dollars or $1 million annually. It's like, is it worth the risk? Maybe he wants to go back to the NFL, but in my opinion, I mean, he's already came out and said he wants to return to Michigan, whether people buy that or not. I don't see Jim leaving. I just don't. And if he's going to, it'd have to be soon because you got to tell recruits. You can't wait till the last minute and kind of, sit around and allow these rumors to keep circling. I know last year he actually, spoke to the Vikings pretty seriously. I don't think that happens again this year. So I think it's just rumors. You're going to hear these things, especially after the loss they just had to TCU. Of course you're going to hear these things.
And look, this has always been the knock on Jim, whether he was in the NFL or if he's in college. He's never been able to win the big game. And we're not talking a regular season matchup. We're not talking now about a Big Ten championship game that is against the Big Ten West team that absolutely sucks, like Iowa and now Purdue. We're talking about at the grandest stage, in the college football playoff semifinal, you're 0-2 now. And prior to the last 2 years, you couldn't even beat your rivals. And Jim got to a Super Bowl, lost. Got to three NFC championship games, lost 2 of them. So that's always been the knock against Jim. But he's a serial winner, and you could not take that away. Division titles, NFC championships, Super Bowl appearance, Big Ten championships, beating his rivals now. He's done really everything except to win the big game. That's all he's missing. He's missing a Super Bowl, and he's missing a college football playoff win / national championship. That's it. That's all he's missing. And you have to ask yourself, if you're Jim Harbaugh, Jeff, am I closer to winning a college football playoff game or a championship in college? Or if I take this job, whether it's Indianapolis or any of these other jobs, am I closer to winning a Super Bowl there? That's what you have to ask yourself if you're Jim Harbaugh, Jeff.
No, absolutely. And more than that, too, Jim Harbaugh's a damn good coach. And you can't say that about a lot of other college coaches, at least at the NFL level, right? Saban didn't work out. And now you have Jim Harbaugh, who's got to a Super Bowl. He's got 2 NFC championship games. He's won. He's got to the playoffs back-to-back years. He's won the Big Ten multiple times. I mean, he's a damn good coach. I think any owner reaching out to Jim isn't crazy. I think they're making a damn good. Out of all the candidates available, I think Jim is definitely up there. But at the same time, I want to read this report. John U. Bacon, I saw him tweet this out as well, and talking about Jim and what his intentions would be. He mentioned how if Jim were to leave, it would be related to more of the frustrations of college football and not so much money.
And how wrong has John U. Bacon been on multiple occasions?
No, again, not saying it's wrong or right, just saying what the report is. The reality is, if I'm Jim, I'm looking at what does he want to do at this point of his age or where he's at in life. What's his passion? In my opinion, I don't know Jim personally, obviously, but I think it's got to be college football. But you see coaches like Nick Saban and maybe even Jim getting
favorite designs like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends, impress your boss, impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All right, the official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network. No, it is not Fish anymore because he won't be working here after today. It is Chef Dave and his awesome team at the butchery. Visit them at thebutcherysl.com for artisan breads, Wagyu meats, and their specialty sandwiches. All amazing and well-crafted and well-seasoned. Check them out, thebutcherysl.com, or give them a call, 248-682-COWS. We are here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com. I don't have to watch what I say. I think you guys need to understand something about me. I say what the fuck I want to say. So if I say I want to kill Fish, I'm going to kill him. And if you want to use it against me as evidence, be my guest. I know exactly what I'm saying when I'm saying it. So do me a favor.
Yeah.
I'm doing just fine. Thank you very much.
Fish, just lock that door behind you if you could.
Well, sadly it doesn't have a lock, so...
Damn, okay.
I know. But even if he did, he just breaks through it. So,
right.
And I'm sure he knows how to lock pick.
Fish, what would happen if I hit you in the head with a baseball bat?
What would happen?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd die. And I'm not gonna say I'm expecting it.
I think Fish is trying to say he'd kick your ass, probably. I think that's what you were trying to say. I'm like your translator.
You're thinking I was gonna say that?
Yeah, you kick his ass.
Well, not if I'm on the ground because I got drilled in the head with a baseball bat. I wouldn't be able to move. Is there a bat in here? Oh, there.
I love how honest
so,
he
like
is.
This one?
Well, I mean, now you have it.
I can't confirm or deny that's the bat I'm going to use.
Oh my God.
I mean, I have it now. It's a nice
Jesus,
bat.
man.
Oh,
It's
God.
signed. I don't know who it's signed. Well, it's not really signed. It's not a signature, but it's a nice bat.
Show me the form.
Well, I have a door in my way, so I can't really swing, but because I'll drill that thing. But
Why are you choking up on the bat so much?
well,
You got to keep those hands together,
I know,
too.
but I'm short, so I would normally choke on like a bat that's
But you choke on a what?
Anyways.
You choke up on a bat, Jeff. Stop being so sexual.
I thought they said you'll choke on a bat. Like,
Wow.
what are you doing
I
with
mean, he may shove the bat in interesting spots.
it? Okay,
but
why are we... Okay, where are we... Okay, we're getting
All
off
right,
the rails.
boys.
But I
All right,
typically
go back.
I typically,
No, we'll
if it's a long bat, I'll typically go like up here.
And if it's a small bat, what do you do?
Well, I can
Do you
go-
stroke it with two hands or one?
I can go close to the handle on that one.
All right.
I tend to go close to the
okay,
handle.
we gotta... We're out. This is off the rails. All right.
We're talking baseball. Hey, baseball season's coming up in a few weeks. They're starting training camp out in Florida.
How many
and
balls you
Arizona.
got, Fish?
In my booth or just in general?
In your booth.
0. I have a balloon. I know what you wanted, but by the way, this was just left here yesterday. So I don't take. I mean, I put it in my booth, but it was in the other one. But
So
it's a blue balloon. I like blue balloons.
So how about those Pistons?
They're not very good.
I'm joking.
The last thing I want to talk about is that shitty team and that shit coach.
Oh, no, don't do them like that.
Hold on, before we segue over.
What do you mean no?
I
No,
need
that's
to
exactly
tell
what
you
they get.
If you know who this figure is.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know who this is? Cause you should know who this
What?
is.
What is Bambi? What the hell are you doing? Why is there
You
a
do
balloon?
not know who that is. You don't know who this is?
No.
Alex, I'm sure you know.
Bambi, who? Let me guess, a cartoon.
Yes.
Okay, at least I know something.
Well, you don't because you didn't know what it was. Look at this little cute guy. Hi, how are you? Doing great.
What the fuck is going on?
Fish.
I mean, hey, she played good yesterday.
Fish, if you
She
don't
had
mute
good-
your mic,
Fish,
I'm
what
going
do
to
you-
take a baseball bat to you and Bambi.
Fish, get a damn room. Get a damn room with Bambi.
I can't
Jesus
talk
Christ.
to Bambi.
Fish, don't fuck the balloon, all right? Just calm down.
I didn't say I was doing
Stop
that.
Stop doing that.
Fish, what are you...
Keep your finger out of her ass. What are you doing,
Hold
bro?
on, what?
Where else am I
Stop
supposed to
grabbing
hold it on the
Stop grabbing the
stomach?
breasts. What's wrong with you, man? Sick ass.
Well, it's a bobblehead too.
Stop choking.
Okay, we're done here. Fish just keeps taking this to a level which we can't come back down from. So we got to move on here. Fish, we'll let you enjoy spending time with Bambi.
And look, she
Okay.
can even do headers.
Why do you have two balloons in the booth? What?
Well, kind of. There we go. That was a good header.
Fish, are you on drugs?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I am.
Sometimes I feel like I am. That's fair. Fish is so honest. Like I love how honest he is.
Hey, are you watching tennis?
No, do I look like I watch tennis, Fish?
You told me before you have.
Fish,
you watch the Australian Open.
Fish,
You guys back.
Fish, last night you were watching tennis, but you couldn't watch tennis because the Damar Hamlin stuff, it kind of distracted you, right?
Well, yeah, it took me like an hour and a half for me to really be able to focus on tennis.
Man.
I feel bad for you.
Because it struck me. It shocked
How are you
me.
watching tennis at 10 o'clock at night, Fish?
Well, I wanted to, but I had to wait to watch it at midnight because I just couldn't. I could not watch the football news.
Bob's Big Boy, WoolworthSports.com says, find a woman that looks at you the way Fish looks at the Bambi balloon.
Dear God.
I mean, that's true.
And tonight I'll be watching my New Zealand Breakers at 1:30 a.m. play the Perth Wildcats.
You really wake up. No wonder you fuck up at work so much. You don't sleep enough.
No.
I end up getting about 6 hours of sleep. It's a combination that you probably shouldn't do, but it ends up working out to about 6 hours of sleep.
Oh, God. All right.
Mike G had a good idea.
What's his idea?
Put Fish on helium.
Jesus.
Fish,
I
pop it
don't-
open. Let's go.
Huh?
Pop that balloon. Put a hole in it. Let's get some helium in your system.
Why?
We want to hear it.
Well, do I have a sharp utensil?
Just do it.
So, do I pop it
Kill
and
the
then
bitch.
suck?
No,
Kill the
don't
bitch.
kill Bambi.
Why?
Well, I'll use this one then. Should I use this one?
No, that'll pop. The Bambi one won't.
That's true.
Dumbasses.
What do you mean the Bambi one won't pop?
The Bambi one won't pop. It'll just the helium will go out slowly. If you do it on the balloon, it'll pop right away.
Do you know physics?
Bro.
No, isn't the
All right,
Bambi...
dipshit.
Isn't this one gonna pop?
No. We're gonna do this live. You are gonna stab the balloon and see what happens. Go ahead. Put the camera on Fish, please.
Well...
Stab the fucking blue balloon. That's your job right now.
Well,
stab the blue balloon.
Wait. There's no helium in that thing, is there?
Stab the balloon.
A little bit. They're still gonna pop, though. If you pop Bambi or pop they're still gonna pop.
Bambi won't pop like the balloon will. I can't believe this is a conversation right now. If you stab the fucking deer or whatever the fuck that thing is, alright, it'll slowly come out. If you do it on the other balloon, it'll pop.
Well, should I do it? What? What do you want from me?
Fish, they're both not floating.
Oh my god!
They're both... It's not gonna work. Yeah, it's not... See that... Yeah, see?
It's floating a little bit.
No, Fish, that thing's...
It's
It fell immediately, Fish.
Well...
Come on, you know physics!
I do know physics. I went to school. I don't know if he did.
So how would there be helium in there?
Which one? This one?
Any of them.
He just said there was.
I swear to God, I'm taking a baseball bat to this kid after the show.
Yeah, we're done. All right.
I don't know. I mean, there's air in here.
Oh God.
Love you, Fish. Just keep spending time with Bambi.
I'm so disappointed.
We got to
in
get to
you, Fish.
Mailbag.
All I have to do is just open this up on the side.
All right, do it.
Open
Please
it up, though.
open it up.
Well, should I cut a hole in it? No.
I don't think you understand. The moment
it will pop. I'm not that stupid. I might seem that way, but I'm not. Both things will pop.
Stab it. Stab it before we go to break.
Oh God, I can't do this anymore.
Stab it. Ready? Watch.
You want me to take
Stab it.
Bambi?
Stab it.
Yeah, it's gonna pop.
Do it.
I know that. That's
Do
what
it.
I was trying to tell you.
Do it.
Yeah, and I know.
Okay.
Well,
Fish.
now you know.
No, I
do
know.
it.
You were telling me to suck the helium out of it.
No, dear God, we gotta go to
just
break.
told me-
When we get back,
It's off the rails.
You pop the balloon. There you go.
There we go. Let's go to break. Go to break. Let's see here. It is 48. So
Why'd you
Jeff,
throw it like that?
tell us about SMA. I love you folks
I
at
will.
SMA.
Fish, you need SMA because you need help
I-
right now.
I need help desperately.
You're going through it. Let me tell you about SMA because it helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. You can help fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know are struggling, you can head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Well, if you think you could whoop Fish's ass in a contest, check out Full Line Warehouse because you probably could. They're located in Hamtramck because it's the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play. Or you could pay $120 for a lane reservation for you and 9 other friends. $2 Mr. Beer Machine full bar. Check it all out. FullingWarehouse.com.
All right, hopefully we're back on the morning show. I don't know, it depends on Fish's attitude. We'll get to Mailbag. Let's start answering questions. Why does Harbaugh get so much NFL attention every year and the great Ryan Day does not? I don't know if that's sarcastic or not. Ryan Day, I think, still is an excellent coach. I do. I think he's very good. I mean, to put up 41 on Georgia, not many teams can say that, right? So they did their job that game. Losing Marvin Harrison didn't help. They were already injured going into that game. I actually thought Ryan Day and Ohio State proved that they should have gotten in.
Yeah, they were in a position to win, and 50-yard field goal.
They did their job.
Yeah.
Okay, having said that, Harbaugh gets NFL attention because he's been in the NFL. He had hyper success in the NFL with the 49ers, and it's as really as simple as that. He's an attractive name. He's an attractive coach. And yes, I think he translates. Whether he goes back to the NFL, I don't think it'll be ahead of him. The one thing he must do, though, is have a young, offensive-minded coordinator. That's it. That's going to be the key. Can he command the locker room? Can he have a stud defense? I'm sure he can. But he's going to have to catch up a little bit on the offensive side. But who knows?
Right.
Ryan Day's teams can't play defense. It is true. It is true, but he's still a good coach.
Do you see Jim Harbaugh going to Arizona if the job opens up?
Arizona what? Cardinals?
Yeah.
No.
Now,
why would he want to coach that team? Why? Kyler Murray, an aging DeAndre Hopkins?
That team needs
to go in a rebuild.
Well, they do, but they need
and they have to pay their quarterback at the same time. Horrible timing.
They got to bring in a coach that can instill a culture there of some sort. A coach that's been a coach already. I think they should be done with the whole hiring a young offensive guru. Just stick to getting a head coach, a true head coach. I think Cliff Kingsbury's out of there, but we'll see.
All right. Earlier, Jeffy said Harbaugh would have to tell recruits soon if he was leaving. Mind you, he waited until the day before National Signing Day last February and told his coaches he was gone.
It was not. Last year was not the correct way to handle that. It just wasn't, and that's why Jim came out and said, "I'm enthusiastic." I believe the word was to be coaching the Wolverines in 2023. But again, who knows? I mean, with Jim, he probably will flirt with the NFL. I don't think he'll go. Could prove me wrong though.
All right, Mailbag, how aggressive should the Detroit Lions be in free agency? Should they continue to be conservative like the last 2 years, or off seasons, or should they go for bigger names?
Well, they're not going to be able to go for bigger names.
Well, they only have $28 million available, so I think they can go for a player, maybe, and a player costing $12 to $16 million a year. But other than that, the rest of that money needs to go to your 2 first-round picks, your 2 second-round picks. Mm-hmm. You got a bunch of draft picks you're going to want to sign. They still can't spend money. Now, 24? Now we're talking. Now we're talking serious salary cap space, where you're going to have a lot of money available. Now we're talking business. Till then, make a veteran signing, maybe at linebacker, maybe at corner. And then you got to go hard in the draft, and you got to hit a lot of these picks like he has been doing. So that's the reality. What else do we got
Garbanzo,
here?
I certainly don't want him gone, but if Harbaugh did leave, who is on the short list of options to replace him?
God.
Well, you said it best with short list of options, because I don't think...
I don't think there's many, and to be honest with you, man, this hurts me a little bit.
Especially with the coaches that were hired to the Big Ten recently. I mean, you have Luke Fickell and Matt
Fickell's
Rule.
Off the board. Matt Rule's off the board.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe one of the...
I don't know. Maybe you promote Mike Hart.
Yeah, it would have
Jesse
to be one of the
Minter?
assistants. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it. All I know is if Harbaugh leaves Michigan, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt for a few years. And they're going to need to bring in that right guy. And they're going to have to be open-minded, Michigan, to a different style of coach. Because I'm just saying, I'm not saying you would hire these guys. I'm not saying they would be available. But if they were available, would Michigan be able to pull the trigger on them? Right now, I would say no. But if a Lincoln Riley became available, if a Ryan Day, let's say he never coached at Ohio State, right, but he had the track record, that type of coach, can you attract them to Ann Arbor? I like to believe the brand is more than powerful enough. But the NIL commitment, really the style of play commitment, that is a whole thing. So I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to do my research on what coaches are available that maybe fit the mold of Michigan and what coaches could be available that maybe go against common trend, but make a lot of sense. So maybe we'll do that later in the week.
King Tay asked Mailbag, what are the chances you think we have to beat the Packers? I mean, you got a good chance. The tough part is you're going to Lambeau. And the Packers, and I'm going to say it again, it's not when you play teams, or it's not who you play, it's when you play them. Packers are playing great football right now. I mean, all three phases, special teams, you see how deadly they've become. Defensively, they're starting to make plays. We'll get to it later in the week, but it's going to be a tough one for the Lions, to say the least.
All right, let's go. Let's not shop outside of Michigan. See, again, I'm not into the Michigan community. I don't know who you guys would want as a replacement. What I know is you can't miss. Because every year that you aren't at the top or part of the top equation, USC's coming to town, UCLA, you have Ohio State. And as much if you like or you don't like Mel Tucker, he's locked up and they're committed. So you need to find your guy that can recruit and win you football games. Is it Mike Hart? Is it somebody within the current staff? I don't know. That's going to be an interesting conversation as we go on.
Jesse Adams asks, Mailbag, Sean Payton said on the Herd yesterday there have been 65 different QBs starting this year, which is a new record. Lions fans should be loving Goff even more after that stat. How crazy is that?
That's the tail of the tape for the year. It's the truth.
Yeah,
Jared Goff has offered stability and consistent play. And the road play has been inconsistent, and it's been frustrating. But again, I can at least look at those data points and say, what were his surroundings? It wasn't what it is now. The team was in a different ebb. They weren't as confident. Coaching didn't help. Down 3-0 to the New England Patriots. You go for it on 4th and 9. They get 7. Game's over. There's a lot of things that go into it.
And it's not all Goff. Obviously, the defense, besides against the Jets, defense has struggled on the road as well.
Yes.
So there's parts of this that you got to talk about there.
All right, I lost 3 quarterbacks in fantasy football. That is brutal, man. I bet you had, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Tua?
Had to have. Yeah, had Jalen Hurts.
God.
Missed him when the biggest game came. Wasn't happy
so
about that.
There is a few things on here. I take Lincoln Riley's head coach over Mike Hart. Yeah, I know. Anybody would. Lincoln Riley right now, if he became available, every school in the country would just, hey, we're interested.
Did you see that?
What do you need?
Did you see that Tulane game yesterday? USC versus Tulane.
Absolutely nuts.
Oh
Yeah,
my!
that was insane.
God. Tulane scored 32 points in the second half,
and people were wondering why they were there.
Well, people forget. People forget this was a 4-8 USC team that had no talent on defense, and all the transfers that came with Lincoln Riley were on the offensive side of the ball.
Right.
Surprise, surprise.
Caleb Williams balled. I mean, he was 37 of 52, 500 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Have you guys watched the Winter Classic?
He's ridiculous. No, I did not.
Well, you should have. It was a good game.
That was?
Yep. Boston won 2-1. They scored 2 goals in the last period.
So we got to go, Fish. You got to shut the hell up. Sorry.
Oh my God. Fish, I love you.
I love you, buddy. But I'm going to kick your ass after the show.
Okay.
Till tomorrow.
Just knock me out.
We'll see you guys. Big D Energy coming up at 11 o'clock. Don't miss it. Appreciate all of you as always. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure you drop a like on the video. Till tomorrow, Jeff and I will see you. We'll get into more Lions and Michigan talk, of course. We should entertain that who's the next coach if he leaves. I think that's something maybe we do Thursday. Who knows? We'll get some guests on later throughout the week as well. We'll have some fun. And to all of you, enjoy your Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Go watch darts final. How do you not? World Championship darts. How do you not?